say hi. Let me shoot a 7 with every shot. Viva Las Vegas! Viva Las Vegas! Viva Las Vegas! I'm gonna give it everything I've got. Lady luck, please let the...
Welcome to Vegas Talk Radio, the Internet radio show about the news, people, entertainment, opportunities, and events in the best resort and vacation destination and fastest growing city in America, Las Vegas, Nevada. If it's worth your time and money, you'll hear about it here. And now, here's your host, Charlie Bass.
Well, on today's show, we have a special guest. We have a lady who has a list of accomplishments that nobody's ever seen. She has performed on stage, television, she sings, she does it all, and she's coming to Las Vegas, and we're very lucky to have her. Her name is Patti LuPone. Patti, how are you doing?
I'm very fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
I got to ask you, first of all, is this your first trip to Vegas, and what do you expect to get out of Vegas?
I was there years ago doing and I don't remember what hotel, but I think it was right after Evita, and it was a PBS special, and we were flown to Las Vegas. And then I wanted my son to see Las Vegas. We drove across the country, and we were driving back, and I said, "Oh, you got to see the Strip." And of course, I took him there during the day. And I went, "Oh, this was stupid." But so no. Oh, wait a minute. And then I played UNLV, and we went, and after the performance, we went and saw Mystere, and we walked a little bit around the Strip, but I can't say that I've played there. This will be the first time.
Well, great. Well, tell me a little bit about what you're going to be doing. I mean, from stage and screen and Broadway and all the different things you've done. Tell me a little bit about what your show is and what people could expect.
Well, I started doing one-woman shows when I was doing Evita, which was back in 1980. And I've been doing them ever since. And this particular show is called Coulda, Woulda, Shoulda, ... Played That Part. And it is nothing but show tunes, show tunes, show tunes. And it's a chronological history of my musical theater experience. The roles I could have played, the roles I should have played, the roles I did play. And hopefully there's laughter.
Well, it sounds exciting, and I know that in Vegas they take shows that are usually like 3 hours long and they make them into an hour and a half show. And if you're just singing your greatest hits and the things you've done, you could probably sing for about 6 or 7 hours, I'd assume, without stopping.
Well, there's not that many that well, there's a couple that I'm performing that I actually was in. This is basically the roles. When I was a kid growing up, for instance, I couldn't decide if I wanted to play Anita or Maria in West Side Story. So I do the duet of a boy like that, singing both parts. And when I was a kid on Long Island, we had a very strong music department. So there was a musical theater club called the Powdered Wig Society, and I played Nellie Forbush in South Pacific, and then in the summertime, kids got together with the patio players, and I did Bye Bye Birdie and Gypsy, for instance. So I do those songs, and then the ones that I wanted to do that, for instance, maybe somebody wouldn't cast me in. There's a series of boy songs that, of course, I'll never be cast.
Right.
So it's a lot of fun.
Now, how did you get involved with music and theater and that type of thing? Is this something you started as a child?
Yes. My dad was principal of the elementary school, and he started an extracurricular program, and one of the things was dance, and so I started dancing at 4 years old and fell in love with the audience and never looked back. I was chosen. So, and I never look back. I've never done anything else with my life. I can't imagine what I'm going to do when I can't do this anymore, because it's really the only thing I know.
Well, does there...
Isn't that so pathetic?
Well, I mean, is there a time when you can't do it? I mean, that's the nice thing about theater.
Well, I'm working with Mandy Patinkin right now, and, Mandy was my Che in Evita, and we were talking about that. The voice will change, but we are lucky enough to be in a profession where you can do this till you drop, but do you want to?
Right.
At some point, do you want to just stop? And I don't know the answer to that question. The thing, of course, I fear is when the voice does change, and I've been really lucky because my voice has been, it sounds the same as it did when I was in high school. It has the same
Well,
out of range. So
well, you obviously take care of it, and that's from a singer's perspective. That's a difficult thing to do, is to keep doing that day in, day out for your whole career, and have your voice stay strong.
What? Sorry, I missed that.
You know, it's difficult, you know, to have a long career of singing and take care of your voice and have it stay strong.
No, I know, you're right. Absolutely. And sometimes when you do things like television and you're there for 14 hours a day, you can't take care of your voice. I've got a strong set of vocal cords. Thank God, because I cannot say that I have taken care of my voice. I can't say that. I've abused it without knowledge. Do you know what I mean? Only having to, in the latter part of my life, do I understand how to take care of it. You know, they say you sing on your gift until you're 20, and then after that, or let's say 40, and then after that you sing on your technique. And I, you know, for instance, I didn't know what I was doing in Ibiza and muscled my voice. And only until the cords or because they're only muscles, became a little weaker, did I understand, well, this is what you need to do to protect it.
Right. Now, how does the dryness of the desert affect you? I mean, is there certain things you have to do for that?
You know, like I said, I got strong cords. I drink ice-cold water, and you're not supposed to do that. You just keep hydrated. Okay. You just keep drinking water. And I just sang in Palm Springs, and I was out there for a couple of days, and it didn't affect me. I was drinking a lot of water on stage. So I'm sure I'll be drinking a lot of water.
Now, you've also moved into television. How do you like television compared to being on the stage with live audiences?
Well, the stage is the actor's medium because it's there's no interference between audience and the storyteller, which is the actor. Television is difficult. I think probably the best job in show business is situation comedy, and the worst job is the hour-longs, because the hour-longs shoot for, you know, between 12 and 14 hours a day. They're hellacious hours. I don't know how our unions allow that to happen. And so and it's unhealthy, too, because if you start at 6 a.m. and you're in the makeup chair at 6 a.m. on Monday, and you go overtime Monday night, then you're in the makeup chair at 7 o'clock and your lunch is pushed by an hour, and if you go overtime, then your dinner is pushed by an hour, and then the next day, if you're, you know, when I was doing Life Goes On, we shot until 6 a.m. Saturday morning. You know, and we were supposed to start at 6 a.m. Monday morning. Do you know what I mean? It just was, it's an unruly schedule. The exposure you get is incredible, and you know, the producers were quick to point out that more people would see me on TV than would ever see me on stage. And that's true. But basically, at what expense to your health? Right. I found it physically very unhealthy. You know, I really enjoyed doing it, but it's, you know, I just shot an Ugly Betty, which I loved doing. However, I was the first shot up, then I sat for 10 hours before I shot again. Yeah, so it's tough. It's, you know, people think show business is glamorous. Oh my Lord, I don't know where they got that. Maybe Charlize Theron on a red carpet is glamorous, but the work itself is not.
Well, what they see is the finished product, and they have no idea that 1 hour really takes, you know, 20 hours to make.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, how often do you perform, you know, in New York still? I know you still live there.
All the time.
Okay. Now, traveling, is that something you enjoy doing, just to break up the scenery and stuff, or?
Well, you know what? I think, you know, an actor is a gypsy at heart, and, you know, I'm always on the road. Even when I work in New York City, I'm on the road because I don't live in New York City. But it does get tiring. Sometimes you just want to be home for a long stretch of time. But the actor goes where the work is.
So Vegas is this is your first time you've actually done your own show here.
Yes.
Now, is this a show that you're looking to take around the country and do a lot of, or is this just something you're just playing with and see how it goes?
No, I've been doing this show, so we're actually shaking it up a wee bit by adding new material, especially for Vegas.
Now, what do you like about being on stage with your own show versus